Hello. Online. Put it out there. On the line. Tell me what movie that's from. Um, cool. All right. We got that shared over. All right. Well, hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode, another day of the MJS Daily Recap. We didn't do it yesterday. Weekends are always weird for me. Sometimes I do them, sometimes I don't. But yeah, we're here today. Had a good Friday and Saturday here, so I want to talk about it real quick. Yeah. First thing I want to say, too, is the stream is evolving because I don't know what the hell I'm doing anymore because I changed something in Streamlabs, so now I'm kind of connected via Twitch, but it also goes out to all the other platforms still. So I don't have the chat on the side. I'm trying to do some cooler things that I've seen a lot of other streamers do, mainly like the gaming space. I'm not really going to game on here, but that's what I'm trying to do. So if we flip over to here, this obviously looks a little different now. It still needs a lot of work. I got the face cam down here. This 11 is technically the follower count. We're trying to get to 50, so definitely tell your friends to follow. But right here is like a little thing. I thought that I was gonna be able to say oh, we're at 11, let's get to 50. I haven't figured out how to do that yet, so it's just kind of stupid right now, but whatever. And then I wanted to do this other thing too, where it's at Mark J. Szymanski, because that's my handle on all social media accounts. And I think that's dope. And I've seen other people do that, but I haven't been able to. I put in probably an hour or two of work into that yesterday, kind of organizing this and changing stuff up. And I haven't been able to figure it all out yet. So it's evolving. If I put up a chat message hello, if I do that, then yeah, see, it pops up there. That's kind of cool. So if anybody chats anything, it should pop up there. That might only be on Twitch though, so that's another confusing thing. I just need to figure all that shit out. So working on it. It's going well, I think. But yeah, so that is what we're doing. All right, so that was the first little thing here. Let's dive into this because I want to keep this one relatively brief, but we do have, like I said, some cool stuff to go over. So yesterday, Friday, I actually had to work at Ray's. That's not a normal thing on weekdays. That kind of sucked. But we did that, and then went out with our buddy Mell, one of our business partners and longtime friends. So we renewed our UPS boxes. That's kind of one of the things that I'll build into. That's a good tip that I have for kind of building a business. If you have a personal address and stuff like that and you don't want to use that, you can use a UPS box, which is just basically it's different than a PO box because you have an actual address. You can put that on there. You can put that. It works for legal documents, it works for credit cards, all that sort of stuff. But you have to renew that every year. So we went out and did that yesterday. We had some Olive Garden. Amanda was probably pissed. I know she was pissed because I went there without her, but it happens. And then I did some client work kind of later half of the day for Find a Tech. So yesterday was pretty straightforward. Today though, we broke a lot of good ground here, so I'm happy, and I want to kind of show you a couple things. So worked at Ray's again, not the greatest, but again, we just do that. We have to do that. And then podcast and Twitch promotion Facebook groups. I came across this thing the other day, and I was like, fuck, I need to do that. It's the idea where having a podcast, and I tweeted about this today too. I don't know where it's at necessarily, but I tweeted about this and I was like, I noticed that one of the things I'm starting to realize from this whole thing here, podcasting and streaming and all that, a lot of the stuff that I put out, the knowledge that I have and the product that I produce, if you will, the content, is pretty high quality. It's for instance, the podcasts, they're 4K, they're well produced. The thumbnails are good. The titles, relatively self-explanatory, stuff like that. They're as good as they can be, I think, in a lot of ways. There's definitely always room for improvement. But what I'm saying is, generally, I didn't cut any corners. I got good equipment. I made sure the audio quality was good. Video quality is good. Overall, the product is high quality, right? So the thing that I'm starting to realize, though, is that it's important to have a high-quality product. And most of my stuff is. But what's way, way more important is how you market that and how well you market that, because the trouble is that you could have a really good product and nobody can know about it. Then that's fucking pointless. But if you have a bad product, like if you had a product that wasn't that good and you marketed it really well, like that wouldn't be the greatest. Obviously, you want a good product and market it well. But what I'm saying is like the marketing is almost more important than the product. Um, I don't. That's a slippery slope because like I've been marketed into thinking things are good and they're not. So that's not good either because long term that's a bad plan. But what I mean is that I just want to focus a lot on marketing the things that I'm doing because I know that almost like instinctually I'm going to make the product good. I need to focus on getting that out there. And one of the things that I saw some Facebook groups that like said podcast promotion and like Twitch promotion and stuff like that. So I joined a couple of them and, I'm trying to like just share the podcast with more people that don't know about it. Cause right now it's just like the people that know me and the people that are kind of like maybe stumble upon it, but mostly like people in my sphere. So it's a slow process, I think. I think for most things that are growing like this, you got to be consistent. You got to continue to try to widen it as much as possible. But like the podcast, so FBP and AM in the PM, which we should probably just shamelessly plug here because why the hell not? So there is Fueled by Progress. That's pretty cool. And here is AM and the PM. So if anybody's checking these out, you got to go check those out. But yeah, so those are the podcasts. Like I said, we're streaming, we stream every night and I'm just trying to get more followers and stuff like that. Twitch is like a really good example because like if you get to 50 followers and then like average of 3 people watching and stuff like that, then you can do affiliation, which means you can get ads. You might make a couple cents here and there and stuff like that. Just like little things to start building up revenue streams and to start, continuing to move forward. So we're doing all that sort of stuff. Like I said, try to get into the Facebook groups and things. And just trying to, just expand the base of people that know about it and maybe want to check it out. And I'm not really looking for people I don't really want to target people that wouldn't give a shit about it because that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I would like to target people that actually would care about what we're doing. So I don't want to just like randomly post shit, but it is what it is. I'm trying to continue to just get it out there and stuff like that. So we did that. That was a good that was a good step in the right direction there. And then pretty much for the rest of the night, we did a lot of MJS site updates, which I will kind of walk through here. So the biggest part of the site here, if we go over to markjosemancy.com, and if you're here or if you later on you want to check it out, I'm going to start marketing this heavily very soon because like this site is going to be a fucking powerhouse of information, just like a wealth of knowledge. Most of it is going to be like free content. There's going to be some paid things, hopefully, that we can generate some revenue from, but it's not done yet, but it's moving. It's moving in the right direction, and I'm very happy about it. There's just so many things. I don't know if like there's a weird thing about me where I just want to kind of share like everything about me. Not like every single thing, but like way more than the average person. I just feel like there's a lot of value that I can bring to people. And I'm trying to lay that out as good as possible. And one of the ways that I'm doing that today specifically was in this My Gear page. So I'll share that as well in the comments if you want to go directly to it. But okay, so this is My Gear page. I've shown it before, but we made some more improvements to it. It actually looks better because I figured out a better way to like make these things all be kind of like the same size, like, height wise and stuff like that. So little tweaks like that, I'm always excited about. And as far as like all the products and everything like that, this is a lot of shit. Like this is a lot of stuff that I own, and I went through here and I went and I put every single thing in. Like I went to Amazon, obviously have like these affiliate links and everything like that. I grabbed the pictures off of there. I copied and pasted the stuff. For each one, I want to do like a little description like this, just to say like my short little review of the product. And then just kind of like, so you can see it and you can say like, yeah, this is, why I picked this. Before I continue on this page, I want to stop and go and like kind of give, credit where credit is due and like say where I kind of like borrowed this idea from. And it's a site called kit.co that I've heard of before, but I didn't really want to use because I like this concept. I really like the concept of kit.co, but I don't like what people do. And I'm going to explain that too, because I just have a passion for that. So let me explain what it is first, and then I'll give my opinion on it. So Joshua Fluke, this is a guy that I've followed on YouTube for a while. Pretty good dude, means well. I'm not going to go into depth, but like, just a dude that I follow. And and I've watched a bunch of his videos. Don't watch all his videos, but I know that he uses this. And this other guy, Harris Heller. I don't follow him per se because he's really like into streaming, and he's like a big like he's highly into like gaming and streaming and stuff like that. He's helped me a lot on like certain things like microphones and stuff like that because he makes a lot of good YouTube content. But I just knew him as well. Another big dude on Kit is Peter McKinnon, if any of you guys know who he is. But regardless, this isn't really about them per se. This is about this website. So all kit.co is you must make an account. I never signed up, but like if you must make an account, like if you are a creator like this, and then you can make this little profile, you have your information up here and everything like that. And then I don't know the exact process, but I'm just, spitballing here. Probably what you do is you literally just go on here and you say, okay, I want to make the streaming starter kit. And then like that's like one of the kits. And then you basically probably just add shit to this, like from Amazon. So all of these things are either like, I don't know if, well, I guess they're not all from Amazon, but like from other websites, they must have like a catalog or something like that. And basically all you're doing is making a little thing here where other people can come in and say, okay, this is what you use, or this is what you recommend. It's a really cool concept. And obviously I'm doing that on my own website. So the point being here is I stole a lot of the ideas for what I'm doing from this website, just like the way that it's set up and everything like that, because it's good for what it does. Let me inject my opinion on this though. Here's the problem with this, in my opinion. Okay, let's go over to Josh's here, for instance. This is really cool, but like I, from a marketing perspective, think that this is a fucking really bad idea. And here, I'll explain why. If you're Josh Fluke in this instance, okay, or anybody that uses this site, unless you're getting paid by Kit to use this site, which maybe they are, I don't know. But like I don't understand why you would do this, because what's the incentive for you to drive traffic here when you could do something like I'm doing and just do the same exact thing on your website? If I'm a creator, if I'm a marketer, if I'm like an entrepreneur, if I'm any sort of influence type person or anything like that, I want the traffic and the users and the audience to go through me. I don't want them to go through somewhere else. Now, I'm not going to make fucking Amazon and make people buy the shit off of me or anything like that. Like, I'm not going to do that. Like, there's a line in the sand there. But what I'm saying is, like, I want this website to be the hub for everything. It's another reason, like, you can think like the courses. Like, I don't want them to go somewhere else. I want to build the course thing on here. Now, you might be thinking that's kind of ridiculous, but like with my skill set, I could do that relatively straightforward. Like, this wasn't difficult to do. It's time consuming because I got to put the things on here, but it wasn't hard to do because I am also a web developer. So this isn't for everyone, okay? Like, I'm not saying that you should straight up just take my advice without like thinking about it. But what I am saying is, if like you have the skill set to do certain things and you can keep it as tight as possible, your brand, your stuff as tight as possible, that's definitely the way to go, in my opinion. Because why would I push somebody over? Why would I, like, this is what these people do. Like, in their YouTube videos, they'll have like a link. It says like to my gear or whatever, and it'll be like this kit.co link. And it's like, well, if I'm watching your videos and then I come here, okay, let's walk through this. I'm watching a YouTube video and it's like, oh, check out my gear, and this is where I land. Well, this is cool. I can look at some of this. This is a pretty decent website. Like, maybe I'll mess around with this for a little bit. But like, what if I like click here? Well, fuck. Now, like, Josh Fluke was the dude that got me to this site, and now he's completely gone. Like, I can't do anything else. Like, I can't learn anything else about him because like he's gone. Oh, I'm gonna look at Peter McKinnon's shit now. But like, you started at a Josh Fluke video. You went to this site to see some stuff about him, and now you're somewhere completely else that has nothing to do with him. So you lost. Like, Josh Fluke lost in that instance. I'm not saying that. I'm not shitting on Josh Fluke, but you understand what I'm saying. Like that. Those are the things that I feel like make or break type of things. It's like, this is how brands get big. I'm not necessarily saying you just do this and you become a big brand, but this is one small piece of it. It's like, Amazon doesn't direct you to other fucking places. The experience and the buying of things is all through there. Like, that's why it's why they try to go so wide too with all the stuff that they're doing. They got video, they have the e-commerce platform, they have music, they're getting into podcasts. Like, that's why you want to do that. And I'm not saying that you should go that wide, but what I am saying is, like, the stuff that you can control, these little things, keep them in your ecosystem. Why take them somewhere else? Unless you're getting paid. Like maybe if you're getting paid, but I don't think these people are getting paid. And the other weird thing is, randomly, like, what happens if I click this view on Amazon thing? Is Peter McKinnon going to get, because if you click on one of these, okay, let's say you come into my website and you click on view Amazon. If you click on this, you go to that product. If you buy this product, I don't know what I make, but I probably make like 1% of whatever you buy, like 1% of what it is. There's percentages, but I don't know what it is. So I make like 1% of that, right? If I make 1% of that, then that's great. Doesn't cost you any money. I get like a buck or two or whatever. And that's the whole point of this. Like, I'm trying to provide you value, and in return, doesn't cost you anything else. You're going to buy the thing anyway, and I'm going to get something. So that's what this little message at the top is for, right? But here's my question, and I don't know this. Maybe I can figure this out. But if you go to this site, this kit.co site, and you click on view on Amazon, and assuming this site is this is an affiliate link for Peter McKinnon, who gets the money? Like, does Kit take a percentage of that? Because if you're using Kit and you get less of a percentage than already Amazon offers because they keep cutting their shit, I have no understanding why anybody would use Kit.co. Like, just make your own damn thing. Like, with the amount of money that these people make, especially too, doing the stuff that they do, like, this is not hard. Like, you could figure out how to do it if you don't want to pay somebody. But if you wanted to pay somebody, like, to make this page on your site so you don't lose people and you can have direct links, what are you talking? Like, maybe $1,000 if you're getting ripped off, maybe, just because of how long this takes. But like, I just don't understand it. Is really kind of the thing. So that is like one of my top pieces of advice. If you're trying to build a brand, it doesn't matter if it's a personal brand, if it's like a clothing brand, if it's anything, make a fucking like mothership and put all of your shit there and try to incorporate everything as possible. Like, I see sites all the time where like, it's like, okay, cool. You land on markjosephsmancy.com. Great. And then I start clicking on fucking links, and all of a sudden I'm all over the internet. It's like, what are you doing? Like, it's cool to use extra stuff. Like, I'm not saying that you shouldn't use other tools and other resources to like bolster your brand and the things that you can do. But I am such a fan of like a very cohesive experience. Not only from like this idea of like, so they don't wander off and like, find other people's stuff. Like, that's not a problem. But what I'm saying is like, you got them there. You were the source of whatever. It's so difficult to get attention nowadays. You can't just throw it away when you get it. It's ridiculous. So that's the whole thing, is like, not only from that too, but like just aesthetically. Like, it's like, for instance, okay, I'll give you a perfect example. Okay. You come to my site and you see courses. You click on courses. This, not done yet, but again, it's the same site. It looks the same. It's got, the same theme and everything like that. When you click into these, it's going to be the same thing. It's all going to be on this site. Like, that's how it's going to work, because that's how I want it to work, and that's how I think it should work. The other thing that I've seen people do, though, is they'll click on like courses and then it'll take them somewhere else. And like, that's cool because it's like, it gets it up faster. But at the same time, though, it's like, you're kind of hurting yourself. You're kind of shooting yourself in the foot, because like, what if me hitting courses here takes me over to, I don't know, courses on Teachable or something. I don't know if I'm gonna even be able to come here. But like, if this thing takes me to somewhere like here, okay, this isn't my course, but like, let's say that this comes here. Well, that's cool. Like, I could buy this fucking ridiculously expensive course here and do that. But then I have to come to Teachable. And I just don't like the experience. I really don't. If you can build it all in together, then you should build it all in together, because one cohesive thing is always going to be better than fucking literally taping together different like services and shit like that. Again, just my opinion, but I really think that long term, you're going to have a lot more success if you can somehow create a solution for your audience that you get. And because you're going to drive them. Again, like, if they get to your site, they're gonna want to see more about you or the things that you have to offer. And if you have all of these things here and all of this stuff like is specifically on your site, resources on your site and everything like that, like, it's all here. Like, it's all here. Like, I know I redirect out for Amazon and stuff like that, but that's a different story. I can't rebuild Amazon, so I don't know. That's my 2 cents on it, and I'm really I'm going through all this. So like I said, with the gear and everything, I have this Word document here. This is basically almost everything I own, and I put 80% of this on here at this point. And this is just, I would recommend this to anybody that wants to do this type of stuff too. Like literally just put the things that you have on here. Specifically, here's a good example, like a custom built PC thing. Like put the thing on there, whatever it is, and then make an Amazon Associates account and get like a referral link in there and an affiliate link, and then just do exactly what I did. I mean, you can do it on kit.co, you can do it wherever, but this is like, I'm very happy with the way this is going. And yeah, we're doing a lot of good stuff here. I got to add a lot of descriptions and stuff, but this is fucking nice. I'm really happy with the way this is turning out. I know it's going to bring a lot of value to people. I got ideas to make this even better too, so I'm excited about that. But yeah, so there we go with that. Anything else big that we did here? Honestly, not too much. I still have a lot of ideas. I want to do. I've been thinking a lot about like this what I do section, or just like what I'm gonna ultimately do. Like a lot of this is gonna be content based. Right now, the what I do kind of just explains like, who I am, kind of like in the MJS Industries, empire here. But what I really want to do is I would love to figure out a way. I say figure out a way like as if there's only one way to fucking do something. But what I would love to do is I want to like have a page on here. It's literally like a consulting page, and it's like, look, we can like something like I know that I can help a lot of people. I know that I could help a lot of people get to where I am as far as like just the structures of these businesses, right? We're working on the profitability, but like these businesses are solid as far as like they're legally formed, bank accounts, all the sort of stuff that like people kind of think overthink. And I've seen a lot of people, like a tremendous amount of people, like just under fucking estimate how vital that is, because when you can make all that stuff like really solid from the beginning, I just think it's literally priceless. But I know that we could provide a lot of value in that area. So I want to do something where I can somehow generate revenue from that. Like I want to do free content and courses, but I also want to do like one-on-one type things. So like one-on-one consulting. Like if I'm putting out content and like you feel like you need a little bit more help, or like a one-on-one thing, like literally charging for like, meetings or like phone calls or something like that. I think that'd be cool. I mean, I could do work as well. Like I'm not like opposed to like helping, like a little more hands-on, like helping people build shit. But I just need to continue to generate revenue from this. And like, unfortunately, the shitty part about this, I've said it a lot of times, this model, like with Szymanski Media and stuff in general, is like, you don't make money until you get to that hockey stick part where it starts to curve up, like, vertically. So, and that just comes with time, persistence, and audience growth. So I don't know. I'm trying to make that transition, or that process to get there a little faster and a little easier with money and stuff like that. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But I'm excited with this. We're moving forward here, and this is going well. So we're just gonna keep getting better and better here. All that being said, that site's coming along. I think I can do more updates to that probably this week and stuff. We'll have to continue to kind of see. But the reason that I was able to do that today, one of the biggest reasons and one of the biggest things that I've experimented with this week was a really important one. This week was the first week that I tried to like really time block. So, and I have a couple things here, but I'll probably just switch it over back to the face cam here in a second. But because I don't really have anything to show. I actually wanted to show my phone for a second because it's kind of really ridiculous visual that I have. But let me explain. So in the past, I've always used like Google Calendar a lot, probably past like 5 years, to really like know what I'm doing, whether I had class when I was in college or when I worked and stuff like that. Just different events like hockey games, stuff, all that sort of stuff. Like I don't know how people operate without a calendar. Okay, I'm always in the calendar. The thing that I was missing though was like I would have the events, but I would have a lot of like empty time in there, and like I just assumed that empty time is going to be filled with productivity and just things that I should be doing. Especially now, I have to be very self-disciplined in the time and how I use it. So what I've done this week though was the first week that I tried this, and it's time blocking. If you've never heard of time blocking, it's literally just like, I think of it as every single day of your life. Like you have 24 hours in a day. How are you going to use all of that time? That's how I think of it. It's probably a little extreme because I've seen other people time block and it's not to this crazy extent. But let me flip it here so you can actually see it a little better. I literally went this week in my calendar and I said, basically every single minute, what am I going to do? Like, where am I going to be? What am I going to do? All that sort of stuff. And let me show you here what my calendar looks like now after a week. It was just, I'm going to show you the whole month, but just 1 week of this. So you can kind of see there, it's probably not going to focus extremely well because there's a lot of glare and shit like that, but you can see there's a lot of events. Okay, there's a lot of events on this calendar, all right? And some of them, again, are things like sleep, shower, like very routine events. But the point is that I'm the type of person that I feel like I needed this. I feel like this was the next step in me getting to the point where, like, it was really just an experiment like I have here. Like, it was just an experiment this week to see if it made sense for me and if it's something that I should continue to do. I think it worked. And let me explain why. So we went through this week, and my weekends are kind of like, I got to work at the restaurant. I got to get up early, work at the restaurant, come home, and then try to do some work or like hang out with Amanda or something like that. The weekdays there's some routine in there. I got to produce 2 podcast episodes. I got to film 2 podcast episodes somewhere in there. I have to, obviously work on any client work. And then all that other time, I have to really do my absolute best to push these things forward as fast as possible. So working on the MJS website or just making content, anything like that, because we're trying to just move forward, right? So what this week taught me was that I'm actually pretty fucking good at time management. I just have a lot of shit to do. And here's my analysis of that. I literally put in there like, okay, I have a hockey game at 9:00. I have to commute there like a half an hour before, so I allot that time. Half an hour before that, I said, okay, I got to drop what I'm doing. I got to get ready for that. Then I got to go there. Then after the hockey game, I got to commute home, and then I have to shower, and then I have to do the MJS Daily Recap. Like, everything's in there, okay? Like, it's that intense. The thing that I learned, though, about myself was that I'm good at time management. Like, I don't really dilly-dally or anything like that when I'm doing a lot of stuff. There were numerous times, and I have a Google Pixel. So there's like a thing here, like on the front, on the home screen, and then like on the top here where it says like next meeting or your next event in your calendar. And it'll say like, commute home in like 5 minutes or something like that, right? Whatever your thing is. I looked at that thing so often because I had a lot of events. Every single time we were either right on or we were ahead of schedule. So the things that I need to do and the things that are in the calendar, it's like I'm working like clockwork on those things. Like, and a lot of it again is like, maybe like hockey things and like making sure I'm getting the right amount of sleep. But like, as far as the routine goes, I felt like I was kind of struggling because I didn't feel like I was being productive enough. And I didn't feel like I was getting the most out of the things, out of the time that I had. And what I've learned just from 1 week, and I'll learn more, but like what I've learned is that I think that that's somewhat true maybe, but more so like I just need to focus on, like if I put shit in my calendar, like it's like I'm going to devote 2 hours to this, I'm probably going to do that. Here's a good example is I never knew how long it took me so we film an episode of, let me back up, film an episode of Fueled by Progress, okay? Don't know how long that takes. Generally, the episodes are like between like 1 and 2.5 hours, okay? I set up a little bit before, I tear down the studio after, so all in all, it's probably like between like 3 and 4 hours, somewhere in there, that whole thing. So you have to do that, which is, whatever, like that's in person. It's kind of a little variable because you have the guest involved and stuff like that. So that's whatever. But after you do that, I have the files on the devices. I have to transfer them onto the computer. That takes a few minutes or whatever, 10 minutes or whatever. And then from there, I don't necessarily do it right away, but when I sit down to take those files and turn them into a video, I do all that. I render it, I edit all the video, I do all that sort of stuff. from the time that I start editing that to the time when I upload it to YouTube, like the initial upload starts on YouTube, and then that kind of takes a while for that all to happen. You got to put like the descriptions in there and everything. Basically, though, the whole time there to produce the post filming and the production part of it, I found out that takes about like 3 hours. So each week I'm spending 3 hours like producing one podcast episode, plus the other like 3 or 4 to film it, right? So, and again, it's give and take there, but generally that's what I'm looking at. So that was extremely enlightening because like I didn't know that really going into this week. I kind of set that, I was like, maybe this is how much it is, and then it kind of took that long, and I was like, cool. So what my thing is like moving forward, and again, what I've learned is that like if I have something in the calendar, it's going to get done, and it's going to get done on time. And I've wanted to do this for a long time again, but this has really taught me a lot. So here's my thoughts moving forward. What I need to do is I need to sit down, and I did it last night actually, and time block out like the week. There's a lot of things that are recurring, but like there's a decent amount of free space in there. Let me take that back there. There's a decent amount of free space, but really when you look at a calendar, like it's amazing how little time you have. Like I can't believe, looking at what I'm looking at right now, how little time I have, and I don't even fucking go to a 9-to-5 job. You know what I'm saying? Like I actually don't understand how some people do the things that they do and get the things that they get done. But at the same time though, the answer to that is what I'm about to propose, and what my next thing is. What I think I'm going to have to do, I'm going to have to go like whole hog on trying to fill up my calendar as much as possible and squeeze every bit of efficiency out of the things that I'm doing, right? Do all that, try to get these things to profitability and start making some money. Once we get to that point, it's going to be hard because I don't necessarily want to work more per se. I do want to work. Like this is extremely fun and extremely fulfilling. So I want to continue to do this. But like at the same time though, like the things that are routine are kind of get annoying. Like before this week was a fun week because I was experimenting with stuff. But before this week, I was getting like pretty bogged down. I was like, I have to fucking do this episode, like that sort of stuff. And it's just tiring, honestly. It's the same shit. And I'm not like, my passion isn't necessarily video editing. It's creating this stuff and doing all this stuff and talking, obviously. Love live streaming, but like that's, it's a different vibe. So the point though is, to go back to the strategy here, because I'm all over the place. What I think that I need to do, my plan moving forward, I need to squeeze every bit of efficiency I can out of this calendar. Like I need to fill in the spaces. I need to work on these projects. Big project this week was also transforming the podcast studio. So there's a thing outside. You'll see updates of it if you follow Fuel by Progress and stuff. But like there's like a little shed bungalow type thing outside. Turned that into a podcast studio. That was a huge win this week. The MJS site is huge. I'm trying to get the FVP site done as well. I want to redo the whole Find It Tech site too. So like I'm trying to like do a lot of stuff there, and really just like focus on prioritizing like our services, making money, stuff like that. But I need to take all those projects, I need to put them in the calendar, and I need to focus on those projects during those times so I can actually make steps forward and get those projects done. Once those projects are done, and as we start to get these businesses to profitability where we're actually making money from the things that we're doing, because like I have to be the source of that right now, because the problem is like I'm in a good financial situation personally, but like there's not really any income other than like, the weekend gigs and stuff like that with Raise and like projects here and there, like for Find a Tech and stuff like that. Once we get them to be solid income generators and some recurring stuff, then that is where I believe that the next step comes in. And it's like you have a whole calendar, like you have this whole ass calendar with all these things in it. Then when I have some money coming in, that's when I start to buy back my time. So I can look at my calendar and I can say, okay, do I have to do this? Like, do I personally have to be the one to do thing X, task X? If the answer is no, how much, the next question is, how much will it cost for me to get somebody else to do that? Right? So I've already looked at that. Like I already looked at, I had a conversation today. Like I want to make like streams like this, or like more so the podcast, take them and clip them down into smaller clips. I have a way that I want to do it. I have to just see if like other people are kind of on that same wavelength. And I looked and I actually got some price quotes on how to do that. And I don't really think that it makes sense for me. Like at this stage of the game, I don't know if I could possibly do it based on like what I saw there, because I'm not trying to lowball anybody. I don't want people to work for me for free. And I'm not trying to like not pay for services. So like, I just don't know if it's really feasible. So it's going to probably make things go slower, but at the same time though, it's like, we don't, I'm not trying to like spend money that we don't necessarily have. It's a very back and forth thing, I feel like, at this point in the business. So that's kind of where we're at, but I'm excited because now though I have like kind of a roadmap and like a structure to follow and to continue to iterate and implement on. And then once we get to that point where we can kind of circle back and start to buy back some of our time, that's when you start moving up, because at that point, if you're making money and you're buying back time, then me as the, we'll call it visionary, like can continue to iterate on the things, right? Because I'll have more time that isn't spent sitting at this fucking computer editing videos. I can go in and I can like say, okay, maybe we should do this differently in the business, or this, to gain more money or gain more audience or whatever the thing is. So that is kind of where we're at. But I have learned a lot from this week, just 1 week of this time blocking thing. And I think it's something that I definitely want to continue to do, because I think it is more beneficial than it is, crazy or difficult. So I think it's definitely helped. And those are kind of my thoughts on it. So I don't know if any of you guys watching live or later have like sort of the same type of view, but I would give it a shot. If you haven't done it before and you have like a lot of shit that you're trying to do, or literally you don't even have to have a lot of stuff. Like, I mean, just anything you're trying to do. It's eye-opening to see how much time you either waste or that's just kind of like unaccounted for. And like in my case, like I was probably wasting some time, and I'm always going to waste time. But like when you see it on a calendar and you literally look at like how much time you devote to sleeping, which is another thing. It's like, what the fuck am I going to do? Sleep less? Like, I don't want to do that. Like, I'm not sleeping for like 12 hours a day. I'm just sleeping a recommended amount and like something that I need to sustain myself. So it's like a third of my day is gone, which is fine because like it's non-negotiable, but like it's a third of the day is gone. Like I don't want to sleep less. Like, so you have that chunk in there. And then, like I said, on the weekends, most of that's fucking gone right now. But then the rest of the other 2/3 of the day, it's like, you got to be as good as you can be, and, there's always other things like, you're going to want to hang out with your significant other or your friends, or you're going to have to play, you're going to go to the gym. That's another fucking thing too. I know I'm rambling at this point, but like the gym, like I thought like, where the fuck could I fit the gym in? Like on this thing, like I know I can, but like where exactly would it even make sense for me to put this in here? Because you'd want that to be like a routine thing. And I don't even know. So very strange, but that's, those are my thoughts on that. And, like I said, I think it's going well. We're going to continue to move forward and like try to budget in some time for projects and stuff like that, because, I want to waste as little time as possible. And I think this is definitely a good way to mitigate that. But, this has been a great couple of days here. Great week, very educational. Very happy with what I did this evening here too. I didn't, even plan on streaming tonight, but I'm happy that I did. Happy that you guys were able to join. Thank you so much. And yeah, we're just gonna keep going. So that's what we got. But probably on tomorrow. Not 100% sure. We'll see. And I know we should be working at Raise tomorrow. Almost positive we're filming an AM and PM episode. And I really desperately need to schedule a guest for Fueled by Progress for this week. So, yeah, for not this Wednesday, but next Wednesday. So, so we got some things to do. But, as always, guys, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. We'll keep you updated here moving forward. Tomorrow, next day, whenever we see you next.